This is a public meeting. Anybody can get information about the proceedings of this meeting. I'm shortcutting this whole script because we've been there so long, and if anybody doesn't know it, too bad, sorry, but I'm going to state who's participating, and if I leave anybody out, just please speak up. No need to confirm, but we have Sue Regera, Bob Wheeler, Bill Brookings, and
Yep.
Donna Trailer.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
And with that, we will open the meeting. And on the agenda, we may bounce around a little bit, but we'll start with the agenda as printed. We need to schedule some variance hearings. Let's do that first.
Yep, my list might be not in the order that the agenda is, but we've got 136 Central Street for Jerry Byrne.
Oh,
We've
that's
got-
Jerry Byrne, okay.
Yep, we've got Lot 2 Car Road for Mark Rhodes, and we've got Lot 5 Pollard Road for MCN or Neil Facile on that West Street cul-de-sac.
I didn't know there was a lot too on Carr Road.
Yeah, they actually,
Yeah.
Mark managed to subdivide an existing home lot, proving a reserve area for the existing home. We did a Title V on the existing home and managed to get a lot for a new home. I think
Okay,
he's working with the owners there to.
Yeah. You spoke to us about that, right, Billy, before? Boucher's
have.
or it's the lot after? It's the first lot on the right, right?
Yeah, it has the stone wall in front.
oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, you spoke, I think you brought that up. They were trying to do that. And they had
Yeah,
creeked up-
it's before the country
Creeks up.
club.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, so what are we looking for
Well-
or at for hearing dates?
I think May 4th would be our 2 meetings out, correct?
Correct.
So I thought we'd do Jerry Byrne at 7:30. And that's a simple out of season testing request.
what street is he?
Okay,
Central.
136 Central Street.
Okay, so that's at 7:30.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then roads, Lot 2 Car Road. They're looking for, again, out of season testing, which actually we're doing test holes next week. So that'll be eliminated, but it's the way it's been requested. So we're going to leave it
Yeah.
on the request. And when we get to the meeting, if everything's done, we'll just not need that variance. The one that he will need, though, is a 4F, which is an offset to a catch basin in the street.
okay,
Okay.
So that would be 7:45 on the 4th.
yep,
And then Lot 5 Pollard Road, we could do at 8 o'clock on the 4th. And that is, again, deep test holes. And Don, I'll get you these letters before the meeting. 4F distances, again, to the catch basins in the street. And well rig 4.1 section 1. Right now, the plan shows the well 5 feet closer to a property line than it should be, and less than 50 feet to an easement. My guess is they can probably change that location, but I haven't reviewed the plan fully and talked to the engineer about it. So I thought we'd just, again, schedule it. And if
sure,
we don't need it when we get to the meeting, we'll just eliminate it.
right, right.
So that's those 3. So
Okay.
I'll get hearing notices drafted and to the owners and engineers. And I might call Jerry Byrne. If he does test holes in April, he could just avoid the whole hearing process. So some
Right.
people may choose to do that.
Yep.
We never declared a
We didn't.
testing season.
We don't get the volume of requests that we have in the past. Your regs currently say March and April. Seems
Oh, okay.
logical. you know, sometimes people used to ask for extensions into May, but, you know, the pressure's really not there.
Right,
So I've just been treating it as March, April,
fine.
unless the board wants to do otherwise.
No, no, that works. That works. Makes sense this day and age.
Yeah, so that's it for hearings.
Okay, 139 Coolidge Road. Ownership.
Is that the vert, Billy?
It is, and I'm kind of going round and round with the Noria Energy Group, who runs the River Bridge Shell. You know, we transferred
yeah.
their tobacco permit and their food service permit a couple months ago. But my question was, you know, did the business ownership change or did the land ownership change? Because land ownership would trigger a Title V inspection. So when I emailed Noria, they said they purchased the, and here's where the trouble lies. They purchased the business, if you will, March 30th this year. And their email says that the land stayed with the same owner. But what the assessors show, and this doesn't have anything to do with Noria, is that January 2nd of 2020, the actual ownership of the property changed. So we need to chase a Title V for that property ownership change. So
And that's a new system, right, Bill?
it is, and actually the certificate of compliance is greater than 2 years old, but not by much, but still, once it's over 2, it's expired. So they do need to do a Title V. So we'll be drafting a nice letter to them.
Is that the system that just went in last year?
Well, believe it or not, it's been over 2 years. That's how time goes by.
Wow.
The one in the dirt parking lot next
Yeah.
to? Huh.
Huh.
It's been
Yeah, I
over
looked,
2 years? Wow.
I pulled the file out at the town office. I thought it was still within the 2 years, but it's just over.
Right.
So they do need to do a Title V inspection.
What a year of pandemic will do to memories, huh?
Well, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Wow. Okay. Let's jump down to permits for a moment. Lot 6, Sawyer, 135 Sawyer Hill Road.
Yeah, that's that house on the actually on Sawyer Hill Road, part of the Plastridge property.
Mhm.
They've requested a extension to their existing permit. As you know, that project's taken quite some time.
Yeah. There's one house up already, right, Billy, that's gone up on Soil. Excuse me.
I think Bill's frozen. Whoop.
Oh, yeah.
Unbeknownst to them, the permit expired on April 18th of 2020.
Wow.
Because again, you know, the system started almost a year ago. April 15th is when I did my first inspection out there of 2020. So, you know, the system went in, house built, just did a pump and alarm in March. So, you know, all this time went by and the owners really weren't aware of that clock ticking. So they are asking for that 4th year that Title V does allow, which
Okay.
would give them until, well, actually, it would have given them till April 18th of 2021, but they did complete their project prior to that date. So it's really a formality of not issuing a certificate of compliance on an expired permit.
Right. What was the number on that house, Billy? Do you have it?
It's 135 Sawyer Hill Road.
135.
Bill, how about if I make a motion to grant the extension request?
That'd be great.
And somebody could second it maybe.
I would second it.
Okay,
Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor? Sue,
aye.
Bobby,
Aye.
and I'll say aye as well.
It is completed, Billy?
It is. I was
Yeah.
set. I was all set on March 24th, which is before that date, but I didn't get the extension request until,
Right.
a week or two prior to this meeting. It's, the dates don't jive, but the bottom line is, we're allowing what the state code allows on that permit just to cover the issuance of that certificate of compliance.
It
Sure.
seems like a formality more or
Yep,
less right now.
more or
Yeah.
less.
Yep.
Nothing's changed in the code. And again, the system's been pretty much complete for almost a year. Just the paperwork hadn't caught up with it.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And not listed on the agenda under permits, up to the board if you want to handle these tonight or next meeting. Today I received 2 septic tank permit applications, both being required due to building permit applications. One is 151 Coburn Road, which we approved the building permit probably within the last month or so, with the condition that a new tank be put in. Mike Sawyer came down and saw me today and did apply for that permit. So, if the board,
That was Amato's old house, Billy?
I'm not sure of the last name, but Muldoon owns
151,
it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a motto's old
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, it's near the corner of
Yeah.
Randall. Yep.
Oh.
So again, they're upgrading to a 1,500 gallon tank based on our requirement when the building permit was issued.
I believe that's Muldoon now.
It is. Mike
Oh.
DeVerde is the builder and Muldoon is the owner. Yep.
Yeah, they're really working on it. No kidding, yeah. Do we have to vote on that, Paul, or just?
Well,
grant
if the board's okay with that, I will, draft the permit, sign it, and tell Mike he can do that whenever he's ready.
Yep, go ahead.
And then the other one that was applied for today is 211 Lancaster Road. So if you're heading out of town, it's almost one of the last houses on the right before you hit the Bolton line. And if you recall, or if you've been by there, they've put on a garage addition with a bedroom above. And again, when we approved that building permit many years ago, we did require a 1,500 gallon tank be installed. So they're getting close to finishing that project. And obviously the installer wants to put the tank in Thursday.
Okay, that was the fellow that owned Fontini's, or?
It is. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I remember that when he came to us. Yeah.
Yep. So those are pretty straightforward.
Okay, yeah, they are.
What was the number on that one, Billy, on Lancaster?
211 Lancaster.
211. Thank you.
Title V inspection reports.
Yes, these are all passes, so there's really no
Oh, okay.
questions or comments. 8 Autumn Ridge, 20 West Street, and 136 Allen Road.
Yep.
Okay. If we're done with anything relative to permits, let us go to the fishing derby topic.
Yeah, Mike Gleason called. I guess this is an annual event over there on the pond next to the school. I told him I'd look into it. The state did say that fishing tournaments and derbies are allowed under the outdoor event guidance, which is up to 150 people. But again, all the social distancing, masks, sanitizer, et cetera, do apply. So I think I forwarded that email to you from the Department of Public Health.
Yes, I did receive it.
Their concern is, they don't want people congregating, registering before it starts and at the end, they want everybody spread out. Mike seemed to understand that. So, but I said the board would certainly have to weigh in on this before we allow it.
Well, he's in the restaurant business, so he should be understanding of rules and
Oh,
protocols.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He kind of reiterated to me what needs to be done. So he certainly understands that. Yep.
Well, I have no problem with that. Excuse me.
Before you go ahead, Bobby, now, Bill, will you get back to him? Does he need to hear from us? Or?
I invited him to the meeting, and him as I are dinosaurs with the technology. So I told him I'd call him tomorrow.
Okay, that works.
What, I had one question
Yeah.
for Billy and Paul. Do you know what the situation is with porta potties, Bill? Is there any concrete thing on those? Basically, You know, because down there they may need one, but yet I don't even
Well,
know if there's any down there.
That's
now.
on for to discussion, I think, with the rec department.
Okay,
We'll
Excuse me.
we'll hit the snack shack and the portable toilets for the rec department next.
okay.
So first, the snack shack, I think we've bounced emails around. It sounds like the snack shack can be open, but again, they have to have a designated area where people can consume what they bought. And they need to follow restaurant guidance, which is masked unless you're eating, tables or seating 6 feet apart. So, they don't want people like buying things, heading back to the group or the stands and taking their mask off to eat. So they're really
Oh.
defining what activity has to take place where.
Okay.
So that, people, the answer is yes, but follow the guidance type of thing,
Okay.
and that's going to follow suit with the portable toilets also. Number one, any vendor supplying a portable toilet has to be an Neshoba licensed hauler. So that'd be the first question. Make sure they're licensed with us for 2021. And then secondly, as I think the email stated, there is a requirement for sanitizing between each use. So again, if rec or the coaches or the sports teams, whatever, if they're willing to commit to that requirement, then I don't see a problem with them. But if they're not going to follow that guidance, then they would not be allowed.
All right, I have to, CDC just came out and said, surfaces that we might touch are very low risk. And I said, and I know I said this a year ago, I want to know how many people have caught COVID sitting on a toilet seat.
I wouldn't imagine many. But on the flip side,
Makes sense.
well, the problem is though, these teams have to follow these MIAA rules. So these
Right.
rules may be above and beyond CDC and DPH protocol, but if they're in place, they must be followed.
Okay.
And I don't know how realistic that is, but again, that's kind of the answer that we need to give them.
Okay. Has Concom been in touch with you, Bill? Not Concom, Rec been in touch with you, Bill?
Not directly.
No, okay.
I don't think. Everything I see comes through the Board of Health office.
Right,
email.
yeah.
And
If we-
maybe with Bridget directly, but I haven't.
Right. If we posted or somebody posted a small poster on a sign out there that they had to be, whatever, would that cover us, Billy?
Well, it sounds like the coaches need to be on board.
Okay.
So signage is great, but I think coaches would need to commit to that responsibility.
Okay.
Rec department would have to follow up with the teams and see if that's something they're willing to do.
Okay.
All right, I've exchanged 1 or 2 emails with Peg Stone. I will get back to her. Probably end up in touch with somebody from Rec, and depending on how that goes, I may refer them to you, Bill.
Well, I was just going to recommend that.
Okay,
Absolutely, have them reach out to me if they have any questions. And
okay,
phone is always better, but email, I get to it eventually.
right, okay.
Like me.
Okay.
And before we, since Bill may or choose to leave or stay,
Well, yeah, I've got a couple discussion topics too that didn't make it to the agenda.
Okay,
But Sue, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna bring up, I sent you all an email, I think Thursday or Friday, on the current vaccination numbers.
Yes.
Bill, I don't think I sent it to you. It's just the Berlin numbers.
Okay.
I can forward it. I've got a little spreadsheet going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I
I
was
don't
trying to
know-
follow that, so it was pretty good.
I don't know if you're interested or not. It's pulled directly from the weekly data from the state. It's just that if you go into the state spreadsheet, you have to go down close to 2,000 lines
Wow.
to where Berlin is.
Yeah.
And then it goes all the way across, to like column P or Q, you know, first doses per capita, doses per population, broken down by age. There's also the ethnic data, all sorts of stuff. I just kind of gleaned the important stuff by age. And we'll track it each week to see how Berlin's doing getting, how well Berlin's doing getting the vaccines. Now, Bill, would you like me to copy you when we send those out on a weekly basis, or,
If you send them to the Board of Health machine, I'd see them. That'd
okay?
be fine.
Because I know I sent it to Paul and Bob, and I think I sent it to Donna.
Yep.
And I'll include you. It's just something that, you know, out of all that massive data they send, you have to find a way to decipher it. All right, Bill, what else do you have that I didn't put on my list?
Well, no, I just got the, I forwarded you that RCAP Solutions letter today about Berlin being
Private well
enough to
thing,
be
yes.
Yeah,
part of that program. So it does say they would like to meet with us virtually within the next couple of weeks. So, you know, I thought, yeah, I don't know what the easiest thing would be to do is maybe invite them into our next meeting, which will be, I think, light, you know, because the hearings won't be for another 2 meetings. So next
Right, yeah.
meeting wouldn't necessarily be a big one.
Bill, have you heard of these people before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a
they,
business, right, Billy?
No, I think it's a nonprofit. I
Okay.
think they help people out with, you know, housing grants and, again, well issues, septic issues.
They want to know if the town has money set aside to help low income people,
And we do not.
their problems. We do not.
You know, some towns may. I mean, larger towns and cities, you know, have a housing authority, and I mean, they might have a different type of budget, but you know, the town, you know, that's not a requirement to take place in this. This is this is them assisting up to 40. It sounds like.
Right. We can get 40 wells. We're just gonna have to, well, we need to talk with them in terms of the best approach to determining who the 40 participants will be. I mean, you know, just off the top of my head, we know there's some people with shallow wells. Should they be part of it, or are we
Shallow
talking
wells would
drilled
be a
wells?
priority, Paul.
No,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Shallow wells would be a priority because, again, they're looking at, you know, improving and making safe what might be considered substandard water supplies. So shallow wells would be on the top of the list.
Well, I think there are 3 right near Mark Road, South Street development that I can think of.
Yep.
2 anyhow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I saw that Dennis Minich is moving.
Yeah, I saw the sign. Yeah.
Sale pending.
Oh, really? Already?
Already? Yeah,
Wow.
no kidding.
Oh, well, I drove by, was it Saturday? I saw a home inspector's vehicle there, and later in the day, I saw a sign, sale pending, or maybe the next day, but
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
be interesting to see what he got for it. He's getting out of Dodge fast.
Yeah.
Speak, Billy, on another issue, if I could bring it up, Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Some resident and you know, a professional from town came to me and asked me the situation at On the Tracks restaurant. They were thinking about purchasing it, you know, and trying to get it up and going. They didn't know about the septic, if there's any time left on that, or if that would be renewed as a 2-year or whatever on that, if they'd come in, and the well situation, Bill.
Well, I've
And
spoken.
you don't have to come up with it now, but.
No, I've already spoken to a couple of people on this.
Okay.
The water
well-
situation, I know, can be reinstated fairly easily, from my
Well,
understanding.
What this does is it gives the DEP the opportunity to tie up any loose ends they might have. I think the public water supply is in what they call an inactive status, which means, you know, it's an pre-existing non-conforming. So you certainly don't want to lose that status because you would never become a new source there.
Yeah.
But in an active status, you can bring it back online. But again, it would give DEP a chance to go through any existing violations that might exist and get those buttoned up. Septic system failed to Title V, and I think the 2-year deadline is this coming December. And it will
Oh,
not be
yeah.
a or cheap system to replace. So I've warned anyone that I've spoken to
Yeah.
that that's the case there.
Would one of them been initials MA, Mark?
Yeah.
Something?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's great, Billy, because I put him towards you, but I didn't know if he got to you.
Yeah, I think I spoke to him and I spoke to O'Brien, who's the guy that's got his big sign out front. Yep.
He's the real estate. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I spoke
Okay.
to both offices. Yep.
Oh, thanks, Bill. You've taken care of it. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so should we plan on having RW Solutions join us next meeting?
Yeah, do you want me to reach out to them?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Okay, I will do that. And the only other item I don't have on the agenda and should have was the 110 grill. Paul, thanks for that heads up. I spoke to Bridget and she feels that, based on her sending a letter and multiple inspections by Paul, myself, and Bridget not showing compliance with the bar area, that we should probably bump this up to the state and see if they'd come in with some help with enforcement.
Just so that the other folks in this meeting are aware, I went Friday evening, probably, I don't know, 8 o'clock or so. Just popped in to look around. The booth and table spacing was fine. When I was there 3+ weeks ago, they had 4 tables for 2 set up around the bar with no protective barrier. On Friday, they had 6 tables for 2 set up around the bar, so they increased that by 2. Again, no protective barriers. I spoke with the manager, Greg, identified who I was, told him why I was there. And I told him that, continued non-compliance was going to jeopardize their ability to continue doing business. And a
Yep.
little bit of a deer caught in headlights. He said, well, I'll send an email right away. And presuming he did, I have no idea. And I asked him about the previous manager I talked to, April, and he said, oh, she's no longer here. She really did some really bad things.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, whatever,
You still got to look at the big picture, Paul. Great job.
Yeah, the issue with the plexiglass between the bartender and the patrons, it seems like we're getting lip service. Paul heard he's emailing whoever, and weeks ago when I was there, the guy's like, oh, I'll email you a timeline of when that's going to occur. It's obviously not happening. So,
Yeah.
DLS can work with the ability for them to serve alcohol. I mean, if it
Yeah.
comes to that. So
I'd be interested to know, they have multiple locations. If they've done anything in these other locations, or are they ignoring it across the board?
I'd rather talk to you off camera about that because I do have answers on that.
Okay,
Okay.
we will do that then.
They could just not run the bar part, right, Paul? I mean, they could run the bar, but have nobody sit at it, right, Billy, basically, too?
Well, they could, but obviously that's not their goal. That seems to be a pretty busy spot if they're adding tables.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And with the governor's orders, if you sit at the bar, you have to order at least an appetizer or dessert or something to
Right.
give them, some additional revenue, which I understand. I don't have a problem with that, but
No, I don't either.
if they've got 4 or 6 stations for 2 at the bar, that can add up in an evening. Definitely affects their bottom line.
Sure does.
Okay, that's it on 110. I guess the only other thing that might involve you, Bill, is the proposed wetlands bylaw.
Yeah, which I still have not found the time to take a peek at. I have talked to a couple people in town hall and a couple people that live in town, and they've kind of given me their 2 cents. So like I say, I'd like to look at it. And
I spoke with Carolyn McDonald from Concom tonight before the meeting.
Yep.
They're having a Zoom session this Friday, and they have a second one scheduled. They hope to have a open public meeting outdoors or somewhere sometime in May before the town meeting.
Mhm.
I encouraged them, that would be a very good idea. She and John Aney, the chairman, would like to meet with us to go over these bylaws. If it were to be on a Tuesday, the only problem is that John is not available until 8:30. He's a doctor and he works late on Tuesdays. And I said, well, I'll see where we're at with hearings and all that. And it may be the possibility of scheduling a separate meeting.
Or,
When is town meeting?
May 25th, I believe.
The
Yes.
the reason I ask is we've got hearings set through 8 PM
Yeah.
on that May 4th meeting. So we,
Oh.
8:30 wouldn't be much longer than that meeting's gonna run anyways. Or if you wanted to have it sooner, we could maybe start our meeting, later to accommodate.
Actually, I'm sorry, town meeting is the 15th of May.
15.
didn't they bump it up though, Paul, or they never voted on that? I thought they bumped it up to June, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
This may be, I was watching a town meet before, they hadn't cracked down a date, but they were gonna move it up, I
Well, I'll
thought,
have
but
to check.
I'm not sure. Yeah, with Margaret or something, yeah.
Bill, what did
And I
you
haven't
just
seen-
say? What did you just say about possibly meeting? I'm
Well,
sorry.
if we did it on May 4th, we've got hearings scheduled till 8, so 8:30 wouldn't be that much later than we're already gonna be.
Right.
Or if you wanted to do it at next meeting, we could, we could start our meeting later. I mean, it's just we don't have a lot of time to kill. You could start your meeting at 7:30 or 8, let's say, and get through your general business, and that might bring it to 8:30.
How do the board members and Donna feel about that? I would rather do this sooner rather than later, personally, but,
I
I'm
don't
okay.
have-
I'm-
And I don't really have a problem doing it on another day. Except Bill can't weigh in that way.
Right.
No,
No,
It
that's
would-
an option. I'm not booked any other evenings than Tuesdays. Lancaster meets Thursday mornings and Bolton meets Tuesday evenings. So other nights aren't a problem for me.
Well, I would rather not inconvenience any of us with a separate evening.
Right.
This is, well, it's courtesy and it's also part of what we need to do.
sure.
I don't know how enlightening it's going to be, but we certainly need to meet with them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
That was
I
May.
don't have a problem with starting our next meeting later. Sue, Bobby, Donna.
Oh,
do
I
you
don't have a
issue?
problem with that. That would be May 4th, Paul? You said?
No, that would be the
April
20th of April.
April 20th. Oh, excuse me.
And
April
if we
20th.
have our cap solutions,
So
in
that-
that could take some time.
So that's
I was
420.
thinking our cap may take some time, yeah.
Yeah, I would think they could even go 20, 30 minutes. I'm just guessing to describe the program, etc. So
It's
you know,
420 and it's, somebody said it's Taco Tuesday too. That was a joke.
We
today.
could, well, we don't have to decide right now, but we could start the meeting at 7:30, take care of business, have our cap at 7:45, and then Concom at 8:30, just as a throwing something against the wall to see if it sticks.
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay,
I'm okay with anything you guys come up with, whatever's good with Sue and stuff.
Okay, let me see if I can schedule that. I told Carolyn I would get back to her tomorrow after talking to everybody here.
They do have to have a public hearing no matter what, right, by law.
Yeah, but they can do that by Zoom.
Oh, correct. I forgot. Boom.
We're still
Which-
in that new world.
Right. Which, that's the reason I don't think we should be doing this change of rules as we decided not to because of this situation. But,
Precisely. We're sticking with that. You know, my
Oh, I
conversation,
don't-
my conversation was with Carolyn was, you know, you really need to have a public, I told her my feelings about hearings. I mean, you got to see people in action, eye movement, body movement. I don't care. When it comes to a bylaw change,
Yes.
and I'll
Especially-
just say
Yep.
my issue, and I need to go through these proposed bylaws certainly several more times, but my biggest issue is that Concom is requesting jurisdictional authority
Punitive damage,
over the state.
right.
And that's an appointed board. It's not an elected board. So I do not feel it necessarily represents the general public. And that's a bit of a catch point for me. I'm still thinking about that, but
Yeah, good point. Very good point.
you know, if Concom was fully elected, then okay, you know, jurisdictional, but you know, it's like if the Board of Health was appointed and we all, you know,
I think they wanted,
appointed boards can become incestual. I'm not saying Concom is, but that risk is there in my mind.
yeah. At the last, I think what I saw for town meeting was they wanted to do, what was it? The 15th, 16th, Saturday, the first one. And then,
Monday, Tuesday, the following Monday and Tuesday, if
Yeah.
necessary.
yeah, so that's gonna spread the crowd out to a real thin quorum, correct? That,
Could, it certainly could.
and I don't know where they are on the warrant yet. Do we, Paul? Is there a warrant?
I have no idea. I need to find that out. Don't
So
know.
that would be, that's another issue with trying to do something this big.
All right, well, I'll talk to Carolyn. We'll go and I'll just restate it to make sure we're clear. Next meeting will start at 7:30. The meeting of the April 20th, I'm talking. We'll take care of some business, see if Recap can join us at 7:45. And then we can roll in, and if it takes a little longer, that gives Concom a little more time. And it's just going to be Carolyn and John, the chairman. It's not going to be the full commission.
Okay. And we could try to compare how it will affect us maybe by then, huh?
We need to do that. We need to
Yes.
look at it. And, you know, one of my questions is where they're expanding it, what's the sequence? If somebody wants to build a house, do they go to Concom first now? Or do they still come to the Board of Health and then it gets kicked
Right.
back to Concom? You know, how
Yeah.
does that work? I don't want to see that get convoluted because I think the board has been operating pretty efficiently and more importantly, I think fairly about things. And
Mhm.
I think that should continue to be our mantra. And I just don't want to see anything getting in the way of that.
Sure. Even on an upgrade, we run into it.
And well, upgrades should be grandfathered, but that's just
It's-
another question for them.
Certainly.
How they see that working. Hopefully they have thought about it. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. I have two remaining things, opening of Take It or Leave It and sticker sales, and neither one, unless Bill, you have something to say on either one of those. I
Nope.
would say that
Go in peace.
you're done. Go. Yes.
All right, sounds good. I'll be, I've got a Zoom meeting Thursday morning in Lancaster, so I won't be at town office, but I will be there later in the day. Just in
Okay.
case you need me in town.
Yeah, if something comes up, call me.
We know
All right.
how to find you.
You know how to reach me.
Yep, we do.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
You
take
too,
care,
Bill.
All right, let's take it or leave it first, please.
I-
I got a call from Roger Bradley early last week. And he'd been talking to Pete about opening up to take it or leave it. And I went down to the transfer station. I'm jumping forward and then I'm gonna jump back. And
Mhm.
Saturday, Pete told me, he says, yeah, we're opening to take it or leave it May 1st. And I said, well, I'll do respect, Pete, but that's a Board of Health decision. We still have a pandemic going on.
Right.
Board needs to talk about it. I'm not saying it can't happen, but this needs to be done cautiously and judiciously. And the conversation I had with Roger Bradley, Roger's been talking to volunteers. They're on board with getting it open. They see spending some time in there, cleaning up, getting organized. And when it does open, they would see having some tables outside. And I said, and he was already there, that on the inside, there would be one worker and no more than 2 customers at any one time, only 3 people in that space.
Mhm.
I think that's reasonable with existing, certainly masks and,
Yep.
all the other protocols in place. Any thoughts, feelings?
Sounds reasonable to me, Paul. With
Could
the
they
mask.
open up the windows?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Could they open up the windows? The
What
two,
windows?
Yeah.
there are 2 windows, I thought.
I thought the only windows were in the doors.
No, the windows that got broken.
Yeah, right. But do they open now or do we
I
have to?
don't know if they open. That's what question
Yeah.
I'm asking.
I
Well,
think we,
I don't know if they do,
yeah,
in which case I would say we would ask them to run at least a box fan blowing out.
Yeah.
But, cross ventilation and having the doors open, you could have 3 or 4 people in there. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I
and
don't want to start them off.
too many, I know.
I'd say 1 worker and 2
Yeah.
people inside, 2
But
customers.
if they want to bring a couple of tables outside, it's like an outside yard sale.
That would be,
Yeah,
that would be nice. Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
If
I don't
they
have a
can,
problem with
if they can agree to that and do that, and there's no talk of putting this opening online. It's a very soft opening. People that show up at the transfer station will either see it's open or not, and that's
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's some people chomping at the bit. They've been saving stuff, and
Yeah.
that could become a little bit of a delicate balance that we might have to revisit
Right.
after day 1. I don't know.
What date would you want to put on it, Paul? A few weeks?
Well, they're asking for May 1st.
Okay, if you're okay with it, or
Well,
everybody's,
let's see. Well, May 1st is a Saturday, yeah.
What about directional signs, like go in one way and come out the other?
There's only
Well,
one
it's one
way in and
door.
one way out.
one door, but like I think Paul's, only two people in there, plus the, whoever's kind of keeping an eye on it inside is a good idea. And the more tables you get outside would be great.
And I'm sorry, if people are jonesing to get inside, they're just gonna have to wait.
That's right. Yep. It's always been first come, first serve. So
And
I have no issue with
we
that.
may
Paul.
have to print up something to put on the door relative to the protocols.
Yeah.
I'll look at that and
A table with hand sanitizer is going too far, I think, because
well, no, we're the Board of Health. We should make that available.
well, maybe
I
one of
know
the
there's plenty of hand sanitizer available.
Well, maybe that, would, and just the stuff that, evaporates like you use and that can't hurt, and I don't know.
Well, the food pantry was given 50 boxes of hand sanitizer from BJ's.
Oh, yeah,
And there's still a ton of it down in the basement of the office buildings, town offices. So we'll make sure they have that. People need to provide their own masks. We're not going to provide masks.
No,
We're not in a
no.
position to do that.
they're required down there still anyway, right? Bob?
Right, absolutely.
Yep.
So
No
if,
problem.
if we're good with May 1st, I will convey that to Peter and Roger. I'll let Roger know that this really is going to fall on him. Well, he's head volunteer.
Yeah, I
he
know.
wants
He
to
does a great
spearhead
job.
this.
Yep.
I mean, you see Pete jumping out of his chair to run over to the take it or leave it.
Only when there's something good.
He's
Yep.
busy doing what he does.
That's right, exactly.
All right.
I agree.
Okay. The last thing I have is sticker sales.
Yeah, and I wanted to, without putting Donna on the spot, but I'm going to.
All right.
You
Hey,
know,
what's
last-
Tilly?
yeah,
He
last
looks cool, calm and collected. She can handle it.
last year, we wanted to set up outside, and Pete got his tail feathers in a twist because Donna didn't want to be in the office with him selling stickers.
I don't blame.
So
Kind of tight quarters.
he said, fine. And I had Donna work in the office. Because that's a very busy time for us doing all the sticker sales online.
Mhm.
There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of filling out. Even with Pete just selling the stickers, there's a lot of inputting that has to be done. We're talking months. So we didn't hurt Donna's feelings, I don't think, by forcing her to work in the office.
Not at
But
all.
we acted like we were just, kind of taking candy away from the baby. And if she didn't want to be in there with him, he didn't need her. So I don't know what you guys want to do this year.
Well, Pete told me that he was all set, that Donna had agreed to sell stickers from inside the shed this year.
Yeah, because we had talked about it and he said something about like having the window open and I'd be inside, they'd be outside or something.
Yeah,
I'm fully vaccinated.
he's
He-
fully vaccinated, I know,
Yeah.
and I believe all his guys are as well. I
Right.
asked.
So if there's a way that I could be inside,
I don't have a problem with it as long as he's not just sitting there shooting a set and Donna's doing
Right.
all the work.
Right,
all
Right.
I
this,
have a real problem with that.
What,
Yeah.
or what about to take it or leave it to sit and sell them? Would that be cohesive?
no, we don't.
Yeah, that would bring a line. Yeah, correct.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's not-
because he said something about having a window open,
Yep,
so they would be outside and.
I mean, a
Problem.
nice,
people would walk up to the window to purchase their sticker.
Yeah,
and
I
on a
get it.
nice day, Donna, you might want to just set a little card table out there when it's nice, no? Or,
well, we had thought about that last time, but it's hot.
it
You know,
is.
We're talking July, so
Oh,
I,
right.
Right, we're
Correct.
not talking May or June, we're talking
no, I think
July.
I'd be fried even in a
You
tent.
would, yeah.
So being in having the AC blow that
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
I'm not getting people in, it's going out.
No, and
Um,
the AC purifies it a little too.
yeah, so,
Is it, let me ask you, Donna, if you were sitting at the window selling stickers there, do you see any reason why Pete couldn't be selling stickers from his desk to somebody that comes in? Is that uncomfortable for you, or?
I don't know if
And you
this,
know what, you can think about it and answer us
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the logistics, it's kind of tight in there.
I know.
You got the desk, then you got the chair by the window.
Right,
So
right.
I'm trying
But
to,
I'm not fond of anybody sitting there while you're sitting there working.
yeah, that's,
That.
I
bugs me.
hear you. I hear you. I
I
just,
think we're all trying to protect Donna and to make
Yeah.
sure that she has the best work environment. So Donna, what you feel comfortable with, we
yeah,
will go along with.
I think I'm gonna have to go down on a Saturday and take a look at the layout.
Okay,
And then talk to Pete and see where his other person was.
Yeah.
Cause even as long as the AC is blowing that way
Yep.
out towards the door, I don't know how much breeze will be coming in like from other people.
yeah,
That's-
with the AC on, I'd want the door open for ventilation so that,
Right.
exhaust out toward the
Right.
parking lot.
Right,
I would really prefer not to have on Saturdays I'll call them assistant attendant hanging out in the shed.
yeah,
Unless the weather's really inclement, but I think there are things they can be doing outside. I mean, what we're trying to do is facilitate sticker sales and keep you safe and comfortable.
right,
So
Yeah.
I'd like to encourage you, I mean, you're willing to go down, take a look, have
Yeah.
whatever conversation, and then talk to Sue, myself, or at our next meeting, we can go over it all. We still have some time. It's only April.
Yeah.
We got 2.5+ months before we're selling stickers, so.
yeah. I mean, it was nice that I got to work on the Saturdays entering the data.
Right,
But it also, it didn't cut into my hours. But I got a lot more done in the office and I got, because there's a lot of entering that all comes at once.
Oh, we know. It's
So
unbelievable.
I'm just, because that really made it, a lot quicker last
Right.
year. So,
Okay, well, I have put it on the agenda just because I wanna, that's
Okay.
my job.
yeah, it's a live topic, and we may not come to a conclusion next meeting, but we'll
All
work
right.
toward it.
yeah, I'll pop down on a Saturday and I'll get the lay of the land and, Pete and I can discuss a little bit like what they did last year. But, I know what you're saying, Paul, about having everybody in the office. We all shouldn't be in the office on a Saturday.
Right,
If I'm at the desk, I should be doing whatever, but that's not at the window. So I have to visualize the logistics.
yep,
Yeah.
And then, but the other guys, would be coming in and out too. And I'm like,
let's leave it at this. If you're gonna sell stickers down there, you need to tell us what's gonna work best for you,
okay,
all right?
sounds like a plan.
And other than that,
I think we're good.
all right, and you should be getting a price by Friday from Joe on stickers.
Oh, good.
The email, I sent it out. I haven't heard anything yet.
And Pete said, well, you gotta make sure they're vinyl. We don't need delamination.
All right.
It's the first time, right?
Yeah. Well, it was hell to pay the last time we got them through
Right.
Clinton
Yeah.
offset.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah.
Well, the colors fit, I don't know.
Yeah, one color faded.
But I think we all learned a lesson, including Clinton offset, so.
Sure.
Yeah,
And if they cost a little more, they cost a little more, but we're price shopping. We usually get them through this woman Short.
yep,
And if Joe can be competitive, we
That's right.
do a lot of business with him too.
Yeah,
Sure.
those stickers we're buying from M Short are, they're over $1 a piece.
Wow.
Were they? Yeah.
So that's why
Okay.
I thought we should shop around.
Yeah, and there's, and
It
not
was
last year, but
wagging the tail. Oh, all right, it
the year
wasn't.
before it was, had a lot of issues with
You
the
didn't
stick.
see a cat wagging its tail?
Yep,
Right up behind you. It looked like you had a tail.
Yeah.
my cat's right beside me.
All right, do I hear a motion or is there any other business?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I will second that motion.
All in favor? Sue,
I
Bobby,
Aye.
Paul, aye.